Okay, stop. Before you watch another video saying I made 50K in my first month's life insurance from some dude in front of a random Lambo, let me save you 6 months of your life. I spent the last month talking to people that actually are in this industry. Not gurus, not coaches selling you a $2,000 course, not even brokers you see online. I talked to people that make the policies. And here's what I found out. Yes, the money is stupid real. One company I looked into, their agents submitted over 51,000 applications last year, projecting even more for 2026. But, and this is a big part that'll save your life, there are 3 completely different games you can play. Different money, different rules, different lifestyle. Pick wrong and you'll quit within the first 6 months like 80% of people. You pick the right one, let's just say that there's a reason I'm making this video. So let's get into it. First thing you need to understand, selling insurance is like saying making content. Are you making TikToks, filming documentaries, or running a podcast? Completely different games. In insurance, you got 3 main paths. Path 1, life insurance. This is the one all gurus are pushing right now. Term life, whole life, IULs, index universal life. If you've been in YouTube or TikTok for more than 5 minutes looking into insurance sales, someone's trying to recruit you into this. And look, life insurance is a legitimate product. People need it. But here's the deal. It's the hardest to sell of the 3. You're asking someone to pay something that they'll never personally use. Nobody wakes up excited to buy life insurance. The commissions can be high, especially on permanent products like whole life and IULs. First year, commissions can hit 80 to 110% of the annual premium, but the dropout rate is brutal. Most life insurance agents don't last a year. You're usually buying your own leads, cold calling, or even worse, they've got you pitching your friends and family. I'm not going to deep dive into life insurance in this video because honestly, that's a whole separate conversation. But I wanted you to know it exists, know the trade-offs, and understand why I'm focusing on the other 2. Path 2, Medicare. This is selling health insurance to seniors, people 65 and older. Medicare Advantage plans, Part D, drug plans, Medicare supplements. This is what a lot of smarter agents talk about because of the recurring income. You enroll someone once, you get paid every year, and they stay on the plan. Path 3, supplemental insurance. This is accident insurance, hospital indemnity, cancer coverage, critical illness plans, mostly sold to people under 65. Way less talked about than life insurance online, which is exactly why I'm going to. These are 3 paths that have completely different commission structures, completely different compliance rules, and completely different lifestyles. Let me break down the money first because I know that's why you're here. All right, let's talk numbers. Medicare Advantage. 2026 rates, the government literally publishes what agents can make, called fair market value. Nationally, you get $694 for every new enrollment. But here is what it gets interesting. Some states pay more. California and New Jersey, $864 per enrollment. Connecticut and Pennsylvania, DC, $781. And you get renewals every single year that person stays on the plan. But here's what the gurus don't tell you. Renewals are about half of the initial. So nationally, that's $347 per renewal. Let me do the math with you. Year 1, you sell 100 plans. That's $69,400. Year 2, those 100 renew, $347 times 100, plus you sell 100 more, and that's $104,100. On year 3, 200 renewals plus 100 new. That's $138,000. You see how it stacks? That's why people love Medicare. But wait, you can only sell Medicare during specific windows. The big one AEP is just 7 weeks long, October 15th to December 7th. You miss that window, you're basically unemployed until next fall. Supplemental insurance, it's a different game entirely. Commission structures vary more, depends on the career, the product, your contract level. But here's the thing, you can sell this year round. No waiting for enrollment periods, and the volume potential is insane. That company I mentioned earlier, 51,000 applications in 1 year from their consumer division alone. One of their partner agencies had 980 agents writing businesses. That's a different kind of math. Life insurance are the most viable. Term life, lower premiums, lower commissions. Maybe 50 to 70% first year premium. Whole life and IULs, this is where you hear the big numbers. 80 to 110 of the first year annual premium. Sell a policy with a 5,000 annual premium, you can see 4,000 to 5,500 on that one sale. Sounds amazing, right? But the lapse rates are high. Clients cancel, chargebacks hit, and you're starting from 0 every month because there's usually less recurring income compared to Medicare. The agents who crush it in life insurance are usually doing it alongside another line, not by itself. Okay, this next part is going to save you from getting your license revoked. These 3 worlds have completely different compliance rules. Mix them up and you're done. Medicare, government breathing down your neck. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, CMS, regulates this heavily. Here's what you're dealing with: the 48-hour rule before you can even talk to someone about Medicare Advantage or Part D plans. They need to sign something called the scope of appointment. Then you wait 2 full days. Client signs the SOA at 4 p.m. on a Tuesday. You cannot discuss plans until after 4 p.m. Thursday. This is literal. This is enforced. Call recording every single sales call. Recorded, and you have to store these recordings for 10 years. Not in some random Google Drive. It has to be HIPAA compliant and searchable. One audit 5 years from now, they ask for a recording, you can't find it, you're done. TPMO disclaimers within the first minute of a call. You have to read specific disclosure language. Word for word, one-to-one, consent for Medicare marketing specifically. CMS still required individual consent. The general FCC rule got struck down in January 2025, but Medicare has its own version that's very much alive. Supplemental. Different world, so here's something wild. I'm talking to a guy at a major supplemental carrier. Big company, and I mentioned the SOA requirement. He literally says, what's an SOA? Because they don't need it. For under 65, supplemental products, accident insurance, hospital indemnity, there's no 48-hour rule. No mandatory call recording by the government. No scope of appointment. You get someone on the phone who wants coverage, you can close them right there. But supplemental has its own compliance nightmare. These applications require electronic signatures. The way it works, the client has to type in a verification code. Usually it's the last 4 of their social plus their birthday digits. The problem? Agents cheat. They type their clients' numbers themselves instead of handing control to the client. I saw the actual warning on these applications. It says, it is forgery to submit this application if signed by anyone but the applicant. Submissions without the applicant's knowledge and consent is illegal and subjected to prosecution. That's not a CMS rule. That's basic fraud law. And carriers are cracking down hard. One client complaint, one audit, and your career is over. Life insurance. State-regulated life insurance compliance lives mostly at the state level, not federal. Each state has its own rules about illustration, replacement forms, suitability, and requirements. Big compliance risk in life insurance is selling unsuitable products. Putting a 75-year-old into an IUL with a 15-year surrender period, that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. Selling someone whole life when term would have been a better fit just because the commission was higher, that's how you get your E&O insurance tested. The rule of thumb, if you can't clearly explain why this product is the best fit for the specific client situation, don't sell it. Different compliance, same consequences if you mess up. Okay, before we go any further, let's talk about the thing everyone skips over, the license. You cannot legally sell insurance without one, period. This isn't like drop shipping where you just start. You need a state-issued license or you're committing a crime. Step 1. Pre-licensing course. Every state requires education hours before you can sit in the exam. For health insurance, which covers both Medicare and supplemental, most states require 20 to 40 hours of coursework. For life insurance, it's usually a similar range, but it's a separate license. If you want to sell both, well, you need both. Cost? Usually 150 to 400, depending on your state. You can do it online. It takes most people 1 to 2 weeks if you're focused. Step 2, pass the state exam. Typically 100 to 150 questions, multiple choice answer. You need around 70% to pass in most states. It covers insurance concepts, state regulations, ethics, policy types. Not rocket science, but you do have to study. Exam fee is usually $50 to $100. Step 3, apply for your license and pass the exam. Submit your application, pay the licensing fee, $50 to $200 depending on the state. Wait for approval. Background check is part of this. No felonies involving fraud or dishonesty generally. Total time from start to license, 2 to 4 weeks if you're motivated. Step 4, get appointed with carriers. This is important. Your license lets you sell insurance, but you need a carrier appointments to sell specific products. Want to sell Humana Medicare plans? Appointed to Humana. You want to sell Washington International Supplemental? Appointed with them. You want to sell Mutual or Omaha Life Insurance? Appointed with Mutual and Omaha. You get it. Most agents work with an FMO or IMO, field marketing organization, or independent marketing organization that handles appointments for you and gives you access to multiple carriers. Medicare requires even more annual certifications. AHIP certifications is a big one. Most carriers require it. That's another exam, another $175. And you have to redo it every year. You also need to score 85% or higher on their career-specific certification tests annually. Miss your certifications, you literally cannot sell Medicare that year. Why does this matter? Because the license is your asset. Once you're licensed, you have the skill most people don't. You can work for yourself or any agency. Carriers need you to sell their products. Nobody can take that knowledge away. The total barrier to entry, maybe $500 to $800 and a month of your time. That's cheaper than most business opportunities that turn out in scams. But most people won't do it. They'll watch guru videos for 6 months instead of just getting licensed. So what does the actual work look like? This matters. Medicare agent's life, your day during AAP, that 7-week window is chaos. You wake up, you check your SOAs from 48 hours ago, you start calling. Hey, Mr. Johnson, remember we spoke on Tuesday? Great, let me show you the plan options right now. You share your screen, walk them through the summary of the benefits, compare the plans side by side, record the whole thing, close the deal. Move to the next one. Rinse, repeat for 7 weeks straight. Then you're managing renewals and living off what you build. It's relationship based. You're building a book of business that pays you every year. Supplemental agent life, totally different rhythm. Lead comes in, you call them now. It's not in a few minutes, it's now. They're interested, you pull up your application, share your screen, walk them through it. The key moment, you hand control to your clients so that they can type their verification code. Not you, never you, deal closed. Move on, year-round, faster, more transactional, higher volume. Life insurance agent life. This is the most relationship heavy of the three. You're having 45 minutes and hour-long conversations, running needs analysis, explaining policy illustrations. It's a longer sales cycle. You might talk to someone 3 or 4 times before they're ready. The emotional weight is different too. You're talking about death, about what happens to their family. It's heavier. But when you get to big placement, a 300,000 whole life policy, and IUL for a business owner, the whole sale can be worth what a supplemental agent makes in 2 months. The agents making real money, they're doing more than one. They're selling individual health as a primary product, bundling supplemental on top, layering in life when it makes sense, and they have Medicare clients for the recurring income. Diversification isn't just for stock portfolio. Getting clients connected to see your screen, whether it's Medicare, where you need to screen share the summary of benefits, or supplemental, where the client needs to type their own verification code, or life insurance, where you're walking them through a policy illustration, you need to get someone, often an older person, connected to your screen. Okay, Mr. Johnson, I'm going to send you a Zoom link. Check your email. No, your email. The app with the envelope. Do you see it? Okay. Click the blue link. No, you need to okay. Let me call you back. By the time you sort that out, she's already watching Wheel of Fortune and forgot what she called you. This is literally why we built CrankWheel. You text them a link, they tap on it, 5 to 10 seconds later, you're seeing your phone. No app download, no calendar invite, no I can't find it. Works on any phone, any browser, even on choppy internet. And what most agents don't realize, independent agents using instant screen sharing close to 40 to 80% more deals than the ones that had tried through Zoom meetings. Because you're striking while the iron is hot. We've seen agents go from using screen share on maybe 20% of their calls to using it on 60 to 80% of their calls. Because it's finally easy enough to do every time. That's not a tech upgrade, that's a business model change. Okay, here's something nobody mentioned in these how to make money in insurance videos, the culture. Getting into insurance is kind of like getting into a fraternity. I mean, that's literally the vibe. For the most part, you'll see a lot of young dudes in these agencies. Polo shirts, energy drinks, leaderboards. Let's go energy. But here's what they don't show you. There's a whole other side of this industry. There's a mom squad, women running their business around their kids' schedules, building books for businesses from their kitchen tables. There's the female squads, all women agencies crushing into supporting each other. There's the old dudes, 60-year-old agents who have been doing this since they literally walked up to your porch with a pen and paper and a paper application. These people have seen things. Go with the group that aligns with you. This is what you're going to work with every day. Who's going to coach you? Who's going to lead you through how to actually be an insurance agent? Not just pass the exam. The agency you choose isn't about commission splits. It's about who's going to pick up the phone when you lose your first big sale and want to quit. Find your people. Which path is actually right for you? Go Medicare heavy if you want a sweet recurring passive income. You're okay with seasonal feast or famine, the AAP crunch, then coast. You're patient and relationship focused, you don't mind memorizing compliance rules, go supplemental heavy if you want faster closes and immediate feedback. You like high volume transactional sales. You want to sell year round without dead seasons. You're good at bundling and upselling. Go life insurance heavy if you're a natural relationship builder. You're comfortable with longer sales cycles. You want a potential for big individual paydays. You're willing to weather the emotional weight of talking about death and family protection. The move I'd recommend for the people starting out, start with supplemental, learn how to actually sell, get comfortable with objections, with screen sharing, with applications. The feedback loop is way faster. You learn in 3 months what takes Medicare agents a year. Then layer in Medicare for the recurring income. Layer in life insurance when you're comfortable having these deeper conversations. Or find an agency that does all three and learn everything at once. But whether you do not let some guru convince you that there's only one path. There isn't. Medicare commissions just went up big time. the largest increase in years. CMS basically admitted they need agents to help seniors navigate this thing. The compliance crackdowns are pushing out shady operators. All these agents forging signatures, getting their licenses pulled, that's less competition for you if you do it right. Underserved markets are exploding. One carrier looked at this growing massively in the Hispanic community across 30 states. If you're bilingual, huge opportunity. Life insurance awareness is an all-time high. Post-pandemic, people actually want coverage. The conversation is easier than it was 5 years ago. The agents winning aren't working harder, they're working cleaner. Better systems, instant screen shares instead of scheduled Zoom meetings, compliant signatures with recordings they can actually find 5 years from now. The money is real, the work is real, the compliance is very real. If you're willing to learn the rules of your chosen path and use tools that actually help you follow them, there's absolutely a seat at the table. That's the actual breakdown. 3 products, 3 compliance worlds, 3 lifestyles. If you want to see how instant screen sharing actually works for the insurance workflow, the SOA signing, the remote control for client signatures, the compliant recordings, we got a free trial and video tutorials. Links in the description. No credit card, no commitment. Drop a comment and tell me Medicare, supplemental life, or all the above. I want to know which direction you're leaning. If this video gets enough traction, I'll make a follow-up showing you exactly how to get licensed, what the cost to start is, and how to find your first leads without getting scammed by lead vendors. Subscribe if you want that, hit the ball, you know the drill. And if you found this helpful, send it to someone who's about to waste 6 months going down the wrong path. See you in the next one.